Hi there, it's Louise with you of Timeless Craft Mama, and today I'd like to share a scrapbook layout process video created for Scrapbook Boutique. And my layout today is featuring the very bright and fun Kaisercraft Bombay Sunset collection. Now what I'm doing is I'm using the 6x6 paper pad only, the collectibles and the wood, and I'm going to mix that with some mediums just to create quite a fun, bright mixed media type page. So I've taken a background paper and that's going to form the central element of my page, and I'm going to use the packaging technique with the Kaisercraft mist to actually add some of that delicious orange to the background. So I'm working down the sides of the page and just splattering some of that orange colour. You'll see that most of it is going to get covered up, as with most mixed media. So once I let that dry, I'm going to off camera distress the edges of that pattern paper, and I've also stuck it together. Just trim off the excess because the paper pad is 6.5 by 6.5, so it's got that little bit extra that's not going to fit on a standard 12 by 12 page. Now, what I'm looking at as I'm flicking through the pages of the paper pad is that I've got a lot of orange going on, so it's quite bright and vibrant, and I'm thinking, how am I going to break that down a little bit? So I chose turquoise as the matching colour because not only is it part of the collection, but I think it's a really nice combination. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Deep Water Colour Blast paste, and although this is not technically turquoise, with this particular vibrant orange it really has that pop of colour. Now I'm also using one of the star stencils available in the Scrapbook Boutique store. I've chosen a couple of flower elements and of course a doily as well, just to help my photo just lift off that page a fraction. I've got a banner cut there as well, and I'm just fiddling around with the layout, looking at what I've done and where I want the placement to go. So right now I'm really thinking, I don't know where this layout's going because it's not quite what I had in mind when I started this creation, but I think as I progress and I start to add some elements and fiddle around with some of the things, especially that little banner cluster up in the top right hand corner, I end up with a layout that I really quite like. So it's a good way to show that while you can be dissatisfied with a layout, it can eventually turn into something quite satisfactory. So really the final stages of this layout are just putting that cluster element together, the title, the banner, and sticking everything down, fiddling around, gluing, those sorts of things. So the Bombay Sunsets collection from Kaisercraft really is going to entice some people and really be outside the comfort zone of other people. For me, because it's got that bright palette with those touches of gold, and at the moment I'm just drawn to anything with turquoise in it, so really not hard for me to use at this point. But I think that the paper pad, especially in those collectibles, really have some great stuff in there that card makers would really quite like, because there's lots of sentiments and die cuts and even those wood veneer shapes as well would work really well if you were into card making. So a really great collection, and especially this month for the release when they've paired it with their other release, which is of course Sage and Grace, quite feminine and sweet and lots of pinks and whites and things like that. So this for me lends itself quite well to boy pages, and I'm really happy with the bright result that's come out with this page. So, as I said, these final stages are just a little bit of gluing, a little bit of attaching. I am also looking at the final result and the balance of elements that I've got on this page, and I'm sort of not quite happy with that top left-hand corner. So once I've glued everything down and I'm happy with the main form of the cluster, I am actually going to add a tiny little bit of extra Colour Blast paste up into that top left. So that's the final stage, just to bring the balance of this layout back together. Now I will let that dry naturally off camera, and the layout is complete. So I thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, and of course check out Scrapbook Boutique for all of the elements featured in this layout. Thanks for watching.